Resolving San Diego's housing crisis will take a concerted effort, and the San Diego Community College District is proposing a plan which they say could help thousands of people, and not just students.
Yeah, according to a recent survey, nearly 60% of SDCCD students dealt with housing instability in 2020, 18% experiencing homelessness. The Chancellor says SDCCD is developing a housing strategy that would not only create student housing on its campuses, but also housing for district employees and others in the community.
Joining us now is San Diego Community College District Chancellor Cortez. And Chancellor Cortez, give us the broad strokes outline here. What does this plan entail?
The San Diego Community College District recognizes that housing is one of the impediments or obstacles that prevents our students from thriving or being successful when they enroll in one of our four colleges: San Diego City College, Mesa College, Miramar College, and the College of Continuing Education. And across our district, which is essentially the service area of the metropolitan area of San Diego, coterminous with San Diego Unified School District, we have 10 campuses. And those 10 campuses have room. And with over 100,000 students, and we serve each year and 5,000 employees, it's critical for us to recognize the needs of low-income employees, such as cafeteria workers, part-time faculty, paraprofessionals, as well as our students. You spoke to some staggering statistics that about 1 in 5 of our students experiences homelessness each academic year. And it's really incumbent upon us as a community college district, which has land, to see what we can do to help address the issue. And so we're working closely with the county, the city, and the Housing Commission to identify a strategy to leverage the property that the district owns to build housing for low-income students and employees.
So I know that City College was just awarded a planning grant for student residents on the campus there in East Village. You're also working on a plan for foster kids in Mountain View for a housing development for them. Can you talk about how critical it is that students not just have housing, but they don't have to worry about this in terms of going on and doing well with their academics and their education?
And you know, this is the solution that we have embraced is not temporary part-time student housing, but long-term permanent housing for young adults. And that's a very different approach. Our goal at San Diego City College, for example, is to build about 400 units on the old Child Development Center located on the campus. And that opportunity will allow us to provide long-term stable housing, again, for the students who demonstrate the greatest need: former foster youth, those who've been justice involved, homeless students, students with disabilities, single parents, for example. But they would have access to housing even during the vacation holidays, the summer session. This is long-term permanent housing, not dormitory living. And so that's a different approach that we've taken on, and working partnership with our higher education partners such as SDSU, providing them with the ability to remain in housing even if they transfer to one of our local universities.
Okay, so the idea is you guys have the land, developers would come in, pay for the building, you'd work that out. But until more housing can be built, how are you going to be helping students who are right now struggling with a place to live?
This is a major challenge. You know, we have raised some funding both through the state and through private donors to help offset some of the expenses that bog students down. We do a lot around food insecurity and transportation insecurity by providing students gift cards and opportunities to access resources in our larger community. But housing remains the biggest challenge. That's the major impediment to many students being able to enroll and to thrive in our colleges is the ability to have long-term permanent place to lay their head down when they go to sleep. And so that's our charge. We recognize that the county has to build about 100,000 units over the next 10 years. We believe that we can help build 10% of that if the county and the city work with us as a close partner to help address the housing crisis in our community.
You mentioned the 10 years for the 100,000. What is your timetable to try to get some really good housing projects going and finished for people who can finally take advantage of them?
Sure. I mean, it takes several years to build a housing complex, and we're just in the planning phase. So it'll probably be about 4 years until we start signing leases and having students move in. But that's the long-term stretch that's required to engage in strategic planning around facilities development. The main project that we're focused on at this point, again, is the San Diego City College project, because we received planning grant from the state of California to help leverage and launch that project. And that's really the challenge. We're in the business of teaching and learning. We have an important resource here in our community, and that's land. That's one of the major challenges that folks dealing with the housing crisis continue to address, is the issue regarding where to build property. And we have the property, however, we don't have the resources to build. And so that's what we're going to require: partnerships, private-public partnerships, in order to complete the task ahead.
All right, and quite a task ahead it is. San Diego Community College District Chancellor Carlos Cortez, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate your interest in our district and the exciting work that lays ahead.